Well, here we have it, folks. Grand parade time for the Battle of the Streetstocks here at Beachlands Speedway. And again, we welcome in everybody on the Pits Media around the country, around the world with the Pits Media tonight, and everyone in the arena. This is going to be a good one. 6 heats over a 2-night deal. The Beachlands Speedway Battle of the Streetstocks. As the pairs have just been selected in the club room. So the 73N machine, Shannon Marr, paired with Craig the Hulk Blackler. Of course, individual points over the 2 nights, as well as a best pairs format. The 9N machine, Ryan Musgrove, with our very own Jesse Hellman, the 21 machine. Musgrove in that wagon was a force to be reckoned with at the New Zealand title here at Beachlands Speedway a little bit earlier on in the season. Here's another one of our best, Ben Jenkins, the 345D machine, a Beachlands Bulldog, of course, teamed with the 154 machine. That's Merv Lewis from Woodford Glen Speedway. The 2NZ machine, of course, Shay McKenzie. That's a freshly painted 318 ex-MV Motorsport car, the 82i machine. Troy Dryden, of course, from Riverside Speedway, paired with Braden Adams here from Beachlands Speedway in the 475. Awesome BA Falcon. Beautiful evening here at Beachlands Speedway. Good to see a good crowd making their way in. Of course, always a little bit tricky to get the people in the arena on a Friday night straight after work, but we're picking we are going to see a crowd build very nicely tonight. One of the coolest shows of the year. 36 street stocks on the racetrack. Over 6 heats for the 2-night deal. The 1NZ in the house, of course, Hoon Richards, Daryl the Hoon Richards. 2NZ, Shay McKenzie, also in the house. No sign of the 3NZ car on the program tonight. Of course, Levi Van Lieshout from Woodford Glen Speedway. But quality through and through. Let me tell you, there are a lot of fast street stocks here at Beachlands Speedway tonight. Check out the 777 car, Kahu Ipia Nitana from Woodford Glen Speedway. He's a hard hitter and a hard-nosed racer in that 777C machine, teamed with Mitchell Lavender, the 555. So a couple of triples there. Of course, the 82i of Troy Dryden, as I mentioned. He's been around in this grade for a long time, is Troy. Braden Adams' car in the background of shot there on the Pits Media, the 475. Looking far too straight and shiny. That car will cop some punishment, that's for sure.
Look a bit like you, mate. Cop some punishment as well, eh?
Some silly comments in my ears.
Oh, no, everybody's hearing it, mate. We're actually having a wee conversation live on air. So,
thanks, James.
You're welcome, Steve. And of course, we're going to do a little bit of this over the course of the night. We're actually going to be linking in with you quite a bit. And make sure that we're sort of having a bit of a conversation and stuff. But if you just allow me a couple of minutes, mate, I'm just going to do an intro for this event for our people that are on the live stream. Is that okay?
Absolutely, mate. Take it away.
Okay, folks, of course, welcome along to Beachlands Speedway for this, the 2021 Battle of the Streetstocks. Now, this is an event pretty much like the Battle of the Superstocks that's held at Coke and Tools Woodford Glen Speedway, but this really involves street stocks. So how does it work? Pretty simple. You get 36 cars on the track at once. In fact, Ricky Bolton's actually told us there's going to be more than 36 cars on the track tonight. Might be 38 or 39. So better to check that out as the race goes on. There is 18 local cars that are here tonight and 18 invited people that have come to do it as well. They would have done a draw in the club rooms before they went out for their bit of a grand parade, and they will get paired up with a person from out of town. So the guys that are local will get paired up with somebody that's out of town, and the idea is to try and accumulate as many points as they can over the course of the 2 days, and then whoever has the most points out of the two pairs will be the people that will take out the Battle of the Stocks. Now, we will show you over a period of time over the next couple of nights the trophies, and they're very impressive, Steve. It's something probably that you want to get your hands on.
Oh, I'd love to, Jace, but I don't have big enough something or others to run these street stocks. These lads go absolutely mad at this event. Last year was a
well, we didn't have it last year, remember?
Yeah, correction. The season before, last time we ran this Battle of the Street Stocks here at Beachlands, Jace, it was absolute mayhem. There was cars up and over in just about every heat race. It was a sight to behold.
Absolutely, and of course, what we're hoping to do very shortly is have you got a copy of the pairs up there, mate? I actually haven't seen any yet, so hopefully we'll catch up with some people. But let's go for a wee walk. We've had to use a wired mic because our wireless mic's playing up, and we're very lucky tonight, Steve. We've got the sprint cars that are here as well. The King of Cromwell here himself, Jason Scott, has come to join us. Matt Anderson. We've got Mark Evans out there. We've got Dean the Thriller Miller. Here's a couple of the street stock guys that are coming in. I know we're here for the street stock tonight, but effectively we're also here for some good support racing as well.
For sure, Jace. Hey, if you can catch the accountant, Matthew Anderson, have a chat with Matthew. He's, of course, a Dunedin man. He runs a T on the race car, but Matthew is a proud Dunedin man, so
just
really cool to have him at home.
See if I can see him anywhere, and I can't quite spot him. Here's a whole bunch of sprint car drivers here. If we get to Stiffy to have a look, Nigel Colvin's here. There's the Thriller there himself. Mark Evans is there as well. So here's Matt Anderson here, actually. So we might try and catch up with him, Steve, while we've got an opportunity to. Matt Anderson. Now, of course, you live in Dunedin, but you contract to Cromwell. So basically, this is your home track. You'd be looking forward to having a bit of a run here.
Yep, yeah, it's always good to come down to Dunedin and have a skid. Like, I started racing mini stocks here 20 odd years ago, so it's always good to come back and support the home crowd and have a good run.
Absolutely, and of course your season, how's it been? I did see some photos last weekend that probably weren't too favourable for you.
The season's been pretty good. Yeah, the feature the other day wasn't so flash, but we ended up about 7th for the second round of the War of the Wings and 2nd in the King of Cromwell series, so pretty happy with that.
Absolutely, and of course tonight, you're not really racing for anything, are you? So you're just probably here to turn some laps, and are you planning on heading to Invercargill tomorrow?
Yep, we'll see how we get on in Invercargill. Head down there maybe, and it'll be a good finish to the season. It's been quite busy. We've been away for the last 4 weeks on the trot now, so a few more to go yet, but it's good.
How'd you go in the War of the Wings?
I think we ended up 6th or 7th overall for the season there, so that's pretty good.
Pretty damn good, all right. Well, hey, good sponsors. Just while we've got the chance to, mate, you better rattle them off.
Yep. Penrite Oil supply all the oils and lubricants. They help us out a lot, and Menifee Trucking support us a lot, so thank you to them.
Absolutely, there we go. That was Matt Anderson. While we got a chance to, Steve, I don't know if you heard about this man over here. John Severite's probably had one of the worst seasons in history. John, we'll just grab him to come over, and the only reason we're going to talk to him is more so because, well, he's had such a crap run in the sprint car so far this season, and it seems to be around mirrors and stuff, motors, sorry, you just can't get it to work, can you?
Oh, we've got it working now.
Do you reckon?
Oh, I reckon I have, yeah.
How did it go at Cromwell last weekend then?
It didn't go.
So what was the problem?
All the meeting before, all the Christmas meeting. What was the problem? We've just changed all the fueling and everything off one car onto this car, and it's going. So we'll go backwards now and find out what was the problem.
Oh, Jesus. I suppose you had to change half the motor, half the car, half of everything.
I've changed everything, mate. Everything except the engine. So
what's the story? I mean, because you've got more than one sprint car as well, more than one engine. So were you having problems with both engines, or just the one you've got it poking around at the moment?
No, I was just determined to get this engine going.
This is the big boy, isn't it?
Yeah, this one's quite a lot bigger than the one I learnt in. So,
what is it?
That's just a... Well, to tell the truth, Chase, I don't know. I just bought it off a guy and it's got a lot more grunt.
Sounds a bit like you, John, doesn't it, mate? You just want to get in there and steer the damn thing, don't you?
I do, mate. I'm looking forward to it today.
Is your mum watching tonight?
I haven't told her. Because
she'll be disappointed.
Because of all the disappointment with all the other meetings. So I haven't told her.
Righto, well, you better thank your sponsors, mate, while you got a chance, because you obviously need them.
Powderline. Powderline's my big sponsor. And iSign's still on my signage. Still a great job of it. And just myself, yeah.
Well, best of luck tonight, mate. Hopefully you get some good laps turning, eh?
Yeah, and Tricky Mouse. Tricky Mouse still on my design. Yeah.
She's very talented, actually. Is that young Tanya in there? She does a fantastic job. She's done quite a lot of the cars around here, hasn't she?
Different cars design, so yeah, she does a good job of it. Yeah.
Good stuff, mate. Well, hey, best of luck, and hopefully we're having some stuff happening. So we've got some cars on track already, according to my director, and we'll hand it back up to Steve, mate, and hope you have a good call tonight and enjoy the Battle of the Street Stocks, mate.
Thanks, Jace. Always cool to work with you guys from the Pits Media, and again, a huge welcome along to everyone in the arena here at Beachlands Speedway, Dunedin, New Zealand, and everybody around the country, around the world on the Pits Media. This is going to be a cool show, a good mixture of thoroughbred, purebred sprint cars, saloons on track at the moment, 360 cubic inch maximum, space frame chassis, pump gas, so AV gas, and carburetor around about 450 to 500 horsepower. And a stout field as the lights go down, green in the air, Stu Miller, Matt Green on the front row, the 28 cars, Barry Taylor with Mark Newell next to him. Talent right through this one as the green waves, and Matt Green gets away to a nice early jump down into turn number 1. Round the top, in behind him is Mark Newell and Craig Phillips down the backstretch as Stu Miller just checks up. The rest of the field, Barry Taylor going around him into 4th position, but a good battle at the front, too wide at the line. Mark Newell burns off Matt Green down the front. Look at Craig Phillips sliding into turns 1 and 2, trying to get a nose underneath the 96 MV Motorsport machine down the backstretch. Craig Phillips in the 17T machine. Of course, uncle of the current 2NZ and current New Zealand Grand Prix winning George Phillips, out of the Phillips Racing team, Team Phillips Racing, something like that, don't quote me folks. But down through the field, Matt Green now holding on to 3rd with Barry Taylor and young Blair Finlay wanting a piece of that one, heating up at the front. Craig Phillips just trying to find the drive to hang with Mark Newell in the lead of this one in the 96 car. Young Blair Finlay in the 98D machine. Running down there in 5th position at the moment, trying to find the handle on this racetrack. Early doors here at Beachlands Speedway. Matt Green holding on to 3rd. The 98 car of Finlay pushed all the way up the racetrack, looking evil at 1 and 2. So Dave's got some work to do on the spanners. Oh, there's contact. Big, heavy contact at turn number 4. We'll try and get a replay of that one on the pits as we go caution. Aaron Andrews with heavy frontal. Barry Taylor was a meat in the sandwich as we see the 28 car rolling to a standstill on the infield. So that was a nasty looking concertina accident down there at turn number 4. Mark Newell in the 96 car leading the way as we look at a replay on the Pits Media. 5 laps into heat number 1 here at Beachlands with the saloons. So Matt Green's car straightened up, shut down with a big push. Matt Green's car potentially, perhaps just evil handling. Aaron Andrews did nothing wrong. Barry Taylor, ditto. And they both copped it. Heavy damage on the 57 Otago Metals Hypermac. Night number 1. Green racing again. What can Craig Phillips do about Mark Newell at the point of this one? The MV Motorsport car looking randy down the back straight, the 96 car. Blair Finlay in the 98. Tracks coming to him, he moves through into 3rd position. So the custom signs, I Paint Limited, Napa Auto Parts supported 98D machine looking racy. As we go a little bit single file, Darren McLeod's got the biggest push I've ever seen down in the tail end position of this field. So that car, not to his liking. Again at turn number 4, he'd do well to infield that car and make some adjustments on the 24 car. Back to the front though, it's on. Quick time, Mark Newell in the 96. But Craig Phillips getting racy in behind, gets to the quarter panel. Down the back stretch, just can't find the drive off turn number 2. As we race to the white flag, Quarter mile to run, this time by. Again, Darren McLeod just struggling. The leaders won't get to him though. As Craig Phillips doing all he can in the 17 car. But heat number 1 is going to go to the 96 of Mark Newell. The 17, Craig Phillips ran second. The 98 of Blair Finlay, a good strong third. Down through the field, Shane Greer ran 4th, Matt Green 5th, Stu Miller in the 10 car 6th, and Darren McLeod rounded out the finishes in the 24i machine with a lot of work to do on the handling of that one. Quick time was Mark Newell, a 16.9 for the track. Pretty speedy at the moment.
Hi, welcome to X Factor Cars, Southland's multi-award-winning pre-owned dealership. Stockists of classic collectibles, V8s, family vehicles, trade vehicles, and everything in between. Thinking American or Aussie muscle, family vehicle or custom? Think X Factor Cars.
As we get the Mulford Holdings Youth Saloons rolling out on the racetrack, let me give you a rundown on what we're looking at, folks. 12 to 16 years of age, the future stars of our sport. 12 to 16 years of age, 1600cc maximum capacity, naturally lends itself to Toyotas, Hondas of course, so the VTEC Hondas and the 4AGE Toyotas, the weapons of choice. Crap loads of smoke coming out of the 97 Clay Marshall. Twin brother Caleb Marshall in the 88D machine has been awesome this season. The next Glover Racing Honda Civic. Talent right through this one as we come to the green. Shannon Simon inside of the front row in the 26 car. Green and we go live. The 828 of Maddie Stewart. Trying to live up high. The 87 machine. Olivia Glover with Leroy Gillies moving through. The 88 of Caleb Marshall running around the bottom. Multiple lanes here in the youth saloons. They always race hard as they sort themselves out. Shannon Simon with a big push into turn number 1, lock the fronts. Olivia Glover's gone up the fence in the 87, so that'll be serious damage on that car as it grinds to a halt almost over at turn number 2. Stay green for now. I suspect not for long as Olivia Glover does a fantastic job of getting to the infield, and we will stay green. So action at the front. The 828 of Maddie Stewart leading the way from Leroy Gillies. Liam Gillies in the 95 car. Shannon Simon in the 26. 88, again Caleb Marshall running in 4th. So you're leading 4 cars, racing hard. Liam Gillies in that 95 machine to the quarter panel, down the back straight, has a lunge, down into turn number 3. Shannon Simon with plenty of lock on the 26 car. Plenty of loud pedal too though, as the 26 car now goes after race leader Maddie Stewart. Part of the Stewart Racing team, of course. Matt Stewart, Adam Stewart, street stock competitors. Good race at the front of this one though. It's all Matty Stewart at the moment. Shannon Simon again pushes into turn number 1, but we go too wide down the back straight. Shannon Simon on the inside of Matty Stewart for the race lead. Just struggling to get that race car turned in the 26 machine. Leroy Gillies looking on, hoping to capitalise on some action at the front. Again, Shannon Simon, big flat slide down into turn number 1. The 95 machine of Liam Gillies, racing hard. Good speed at the front of this one. Caleb Marshall doing all he can. There's a traffic cone just appeared in the middle of 3 and 4. As we race into the white zone, last lap, Matty Stewart leads the way. Shannon Simon doing all that he can down the back stretch into 3 and 4. Matty Stewart though comes to the flag, too wide, but it's all Matty Stewart. Gets there in the 828. From Shannon Simon in the 26, Leroy Gillies in the 95, Caleb Marshall in the 88. So the traffic cone got a free ride round to turn number 2 under Leroy Gillies' race car. Come from the infield somewhere, bit of entertainment. The bumper on the racetrack down there as well. We'll find the Clay Marshall missing his rear bumper. So Full Noise Customs, the turbo shop, in support of the 828 machine of Matty Stewart. Hard fought victory. Well deserved. The 828 Matty Stewart gets the job done in the opening heat for the Mulford Holdings Youth Saloons here at Beachlands Speedway. Night number 1, Battle of the Streetstocks. Sprint cars on the dummy grid. Can't wait to bring you the action. Anytime we have the 410 sprint cars here at Beachlands Speedway, I get excited.
The St. Nicholas is a familiar sight around Bluff as she steams out to capture Can-Do Fishing's famous Bluff Kinner. Once caught, the Kinner is brought back to the purpose-built factory in Bluff where it is processed, packed and shipped fresh to you. But that's not all that Can-Do Fishing can do for you. Try some of their green-boned fish or delicious power products and you will soon see why seafood from the Bluff is world famous. So head to your local fish market or supermarket and ask for Can-Do Fishing Kinner, fish or power. Can-Do Fishing, there's nothing we can't do for you.
Sprint cars taking fire on the racetrack here at Beachlands Speedway. He's the king himself, Jason Scott. Edge Parts and Performance Triple X 410 powered sprint cars here at Beachlands Speedway. Always a treat. Quarter mile racetrack, tight corners, long straights for a quarter mile track. The sprint cars always race well here. Some famous feature races with the War of the Wings series over the last few seasons. Jamie Duff, untouchable anytime he comes to this racetrack. Of course, not here tonight. The Quake City Stampede on at Ruapuna Speedway this weekend. 98 car. That's Mark Evans. Hydrolink supported. Jesco Hydraulics. Seavey, John Seavright in the 14 car. Jason caught up with him. He's had a horror season with a car that just, for whatever reason, would not fire. 410 power in the front of that race car. The real deal. No transmission, fixed drive. Green in the air, green, and we're racing. The Thriller takes the early lead. Look at Jason Scott, wings it in underneath Mark Evans. And down the back stretch we go. Look at the speed, folks. Sprint cars get me going, no question. As the Thriller runs a little bit wide through turns 3 and 4. Finding some drive. Mark Evans struggling for side bite. Miller struggling for drive bite down the back straight, and Jason Scott now all over him. Look at Jason Scott, a hard-nosed racer, is the king in the 88 machine. Lifting the fronts down the back straight, goes to the outside, thinks better of it. Early doors here tonight. Jason Scott's car hooking up, lifting the fronts. What a sight, folks. The track has teeth at both ends, turn number 2 and 4. Jason Scott's car rearing up. He'll do well to move the wing forward on the ram, get a little bit of drive. As the Thriller with a big wheel stand. Dino Miller in the 55Ks Bakery. Leading the way. Jason Scott. Oh, the Miller. He's gone tight through 1 and 2, pushed up the racetrack and gave the lead away. Jason Scott now sees the front, runs his own lane. And Jason Scott will be hard to peg back around Beachlands Speedway. Big wheel stand down the back straight from the King. Here's the Thriller Miller falling into the clutches of Mark Evans in that 98 car. Chester Colvin looking underneath him. Colvin into third briefly. Too wide for the third position. Down the back straight. Colvin nibbling away on the tail tank of Mark Evans. With 7 laps in the books. They go quickly, folks. The fastest cars on clay anywhere in the world, the sprint cars. Jason Scott shut the gate. He's checked out. He's gone. The Thriller Miller holding on to second in a car not quite to his liking. 3 laps to run. 12 lap heat races. Track that is looking racy. White flag this time by for the race leader. We've got a 2-wide battle for second place. Mark Evans got up the inside of the Thriller. They're still 2 wide down the front stretch. So that's on for second place. Jason Scott's checked out. So he's going to do it, folks. And does. Mark Evans now has second place nailed down. The Thriller runs third, with Colvin and Anderson next back, rounding out the field. Sev Wright in the 33 machine of Paul Horrell, 7th place. Quick time, Jason Scott with a 13.95. That is humming, folks. 13-second bracket for Jason Scott. Turn it up. Rolling around to the green. Michelle Cuff in the 19. On the outside of the front row, Alicia Gillies in the 76. Alan Kirk inside of the second row. We go live. It's the 23. Working around the outside of Michelle Cuff. That's Elena Johnson in the 23. And a breakout season for Elena Johnson. She's been awesome this year, of course. Second generation racer Glenn Johnson. Father runs a modified sprint with good success. In the 23D modified sprint, Alan Kirk high and wide. Round the outside of Michelle Cuff and Regan Constable moves into second place. Elena Johnson though, with a good lead. Alan Kirk chasing as hard as he can in the 37D machine. About a 3-second gap to the lead. Michelle Cuff. Gareth Cayley now in the 26D machine. Having a crack, that's for 4th position. Elena Johnson though, clean pair of heels, the 63 machine. Regan Constable, of course, he's won plenty of heat races this season. Oh, there's contact down the front stretch. The 78 car was dispatched. Niall Brookland to the infield. Ex-Bailey Mitchell machine. So that car will take fire and rejoin, we hope. No, it's parked. Here's the battle down through the field is where the action is right at the moment. Michelle Cuff holding off Ben Howard in that 34. The 24 is Jared Constable. He's had issues with engines. over the last season and a half. So good to see Jared Constable with some speed in that 24 car as he runs it high and wide. Good rear drive, front drive battle. Of course, the production saloons, predominantly a front-wheel drive category in this modern era. Good to see the Falcons, the likes of Alan Kerr, Gary Cuff out there on the racetrack, Michelle Cuff on screen, the 19 car. Holding the respect for the rear-wheel drive contingent. 3 laps to run, the production saloons. Elena Johnson, Regan Constable running in second place, doing all he can in the 63. Alan Kirk in third, with Gareth Cayley in fourth. Alan Kirk's car with just a little wisp of smoke from the left rear. Hopefully nothing too serious. But it's all Elena Johnson. Racing to the white flag. 1 to run this time for Elena Johnson. Another custom signed supported race car, the 23D. Regan Constable has closed that gap down a little bit to the race lead, but it's going to be comfortable in the end for Elena Johnson. Off a turn 4 to the checkers. The 23 of Elena Johnson from the 63 of Regan Constable. Alan Current ran third. The 37 from Gareth Cayley. The 26 machine. So a good performance from Elena Johnson. One from the front. That 23D machine. It's a Mitsubishi of some description. Something along those lines. Elena Johnson. Awesome performance for young Elena, as I said, second generation race car driver. Another custom signs for supporting machine. Now for this victory lap, folks, Elena Johnson. Relative newcomer. Young competitor. Good job. Number 1 for the production series. Start on the agenda. It's the battle of the Streetstocks. 1 of 6 for the weekend. The 2021 Battle of the Streetstocks here at Beachlands Speedway. One of the absolute star attractions on our calendar. The 2-night deal. More than 36 Streetstocks on the racetrack. We've got the 1NZ, we've got the 2NZ in the house. We've got the current New Zealand Grand Prix champion, we've got the South Island champion, we've got the Canterbury champion. They're all here. This is going to get wild, folks. And I, for one, cannot wait. Pick your favourite. Get in behind them. Let them hear you. The adrenaline will be pumping, folks. These drivers ready to rock and roll. This will get as rough as it gets in the street stock grade. The end of the season, of course. 3 minutes comes to an end for Lapsley. Lights go down. We are about to get it on here at Beachlands Speedway. Battle of the Street Stocks 2021 is go. Buddy Finch moves to the inside. Brad Kahui left stranded. The 9 machine in Musgrove with a bit of a push. There's cars high and wide. Kahui coming under fire from Brian Nicolau in the midfield. There's a huge car park as Kahui goes around. So Brian Nicolau dishes up the first shot. As the 118 leads the way. Alan Finch from Lockie McLean. There is an absolute car park exiting turn number 4. Clint Gillies has gone around. So the 417 will look to dish it up now. A lap down as the race leader. The 118 machine makes his way around the outside of Gillies, puts him a lap down. Cars everywhere you look, folks. The 77 of Schumacher's gone around. Nearly collected by the 777 of Apia Natana. Sam Cathro slow down the backstretch. As there's shots all the way around this racetrack. Sean Hughes taking punishment. Reds are on. That's for Sam Cathro, I do believe, down the back straight. Race leader down beneath me. That's the 118. Alan Finch. The Beachlands Bulldog, Alan Finch, MV Motorsport. Cleverly's looking after that race car. Lockie McLean in the 187 machine. The Falcon Parts, 121 of Buddy Finch. Lights are down. Green racing again. So Clint Gillies having to sort himself out. Comes down the racetrack, gets absolutely cleaned up by Brett Bauer. That was a kamikaze move. Reds come on again. I believe the native didn't take fire. The 44 car stationary at the exit of turn 4. Lights go down. Racing once more with a long way to run. Race leader is now Lockie McLean in the 187. He's gone through on Alan Finch. Musgrove in the wagon runs third. Ryan Musgrove in the 9 car from Nelson. Next for position, Matt Stewart. No longer, as he runs into Adam Stewart, who held the 98 car in the wall. So that's unfortunate as they try and untangle that mess. More cars coming around. Shoemaker almost made contact. Braden Adams missed it. As Lockie McLean leads the way. Still, Reds are on. Too many cars stationary on the racetrack. And then they are dropping like flies. It's the 98 machine of Matt Richards. Goes to the infield. Heavy damage to the right front. As we catch it on a replay, Adam Stewart put him in hard into the concrete. As there was I believe a lead change happening simultaneously. Thought we were getting close to a start, but yes, we are. Lights are down. Green is up. Green is waving. Let's rock and roll, folks. Race leader down the back straight. That's Lockie McLean. Alan Finch runs second. Musgrove in the 9 car. Battling hard. Lap number 7. 12 lap heat races a long way in the street stocks. It's Lockie McLean making his way through the lappers. Comes up on the 12 car, another Beachlands Bulldog, Kelly Campbell, trying to make his way through. Alan Finch closing the gap, that 118 machine, I do believe. Was running second. Timing screen perhaps has him a lap down, so I might be selling a real bogey there. Apologies if that is the case. Musgrove to the infield. Brian Nicolau has put Musgrove away. Still going after him. So that's getting willing. Lockie McLean goes around under the white flag. So Alan Finch has taken the race leader out of this one, folks. Musgrove's gone. Paul Leslie assumes the lead. The 27 car, I believe, on the last lap. We'll get confirmation at the conclusion, as it is all happening here, folks, at Beachlands Speedway. But Paul Leslie, I think, in the 27 car. High drama as Brian Nicolau put Musgrove to the infield, held him there. We'll get confirmation, folks, but the way I saw that one, Paul Leslie in the 27 car did the job. Here it is on screen. Jot him down, the 27 of Paul Leslie from Jesse Helm in the 21. Ben Jenkins snuck in a third from Sean Andrews. Lockie McLean salvaged 5th place. Mike Jones ran 6th. And everyone else, well, an absolute lottery. But absolutely, folks, pay him off. The NVD Logistics, Drainmate Limited, Falcon Parts supported 27C. As the check, it goes to the 118 of Alan Finch.
I'm Brittany Carpenter, driver of 85 GM, based out of Greymouth. I use wholesale tyres, coloured chrome rims on my car. If you're looking for something unique and different on your car, contact Wholesale Tyres to get these coloured rims. Or get a hold of them on Facebook at Wholesale Tyres, or go onto their website, which is www.wholesaletyres.net.nz. See you trackside.
Need coloured chrome rims? Wholesale Tyres. Good rims, better prices, great people.
Some assistance offered between the race teams, and good to see all cars on the racetrack. Front row is the 57D, Aaron Andrews on the inside of Craig Phillips with another good grid start. Craig Phillips in the 17T machine. What about Shane Greer, Blair Finlay second row, the 33 on the inside of the 98D machine of Blair Finlay. The Greer logging Hypermac of Shane Greer. We'll be looking for a strong result. Lights are down. Green in the air. Stu Miller, Matt Green, the third row. Barry Taylor, Mark Newell, the fourth. And Darren McLeod, the Golden Homes Tirana, rounds out the grid. Let's go green at Beachlands. Racing now. Craig Phillips on the outside of Aaron Andrews. Phillips charges into turn 1 and 2, leading the way Contact, hip and shoulder perhaps, for third place between Greer and Blair Finlay. Matt Green darts to the middle shelf, the 59 car. He's got Mark Newell looking to work his way around the outside. But Craig Phillips leads the way. Aaron Andrews second from Greer and Finlay. Battling hard. Here Finlay, fresh off a road trip. Just got back today, picked up his new race bus. Perhaps we could call him the bus driver. Blair Finlay in the 98D, the eye paint. Machine. Breathing on the back of Shane Greer. That's the heated battle on the track at the moment. Aaron Andrews doing all he can to get onto the back of Craig Phillips, who was bouncing like a kangaroo through turn number 4. Struggled for drive that lap. Running up higher than perhaps anybody at the moment on the racetrack. Good battle for the lead. Great battle for third place as Greer's car looks a little bit ugly at the northern end of the racetrack. Quick time, Aaron Andrews chasing down the leader. He's done a 16.6. So Aaron Andrews is coming for Craig Phillips at the front of this one. Blair Finlay working as hard as ever on the back of Shane Greer. So the leading pair have checked out. More than 2 seconds back to Shane Greer. Battle for the lead, of course. Craig Phillips in the 17. Aaron Andrews, whose quick time got to the quarter panel off turn number 2. Aaron Andrews is coming for this one, folks. Craig Phillips' car a lot more sideways, struggling to get that drive bite at both ends of the racetrack. South end we go now, too wide for the race lead. Aaron Andrews underneath. Just gets dragged a little bit down the back stretch. Aaron Andrews driving a much straighter race car at both ends. White flag, 1 to run, and it's Craig Phillips holding on. Aaron Andrews again gets to the quarter panel, down the back stretch, can't get the drive.
Technical Welding Services Hamilton are specialists in the transit concrete mixer industry. From chassis drop-off to a full working concrete mixing, the team will take care of the job from start to finish. Full engineering services and general sheet metal work can also be undertaken. Need a quote? Call 07 847 2031 or visit our website www.techweld.nz. Technical Welding Services Hamilton, we are the experts.
Who's got me? Major technical difficulties here at Beachlands Speedway. We may be resolved now as Mulford Holdings Youth Saloons on the racetrack. Race leader is the 88 car of Caleb Marshall. With an awesome battle, Tyler Kelk in the 48. Going at it with Shannon Simon in the 26 car. Shannon Simon was awesome in the opening heat race. Caleb Marshall leads the way though, with 3 laps to run. 2 wide for second place. Tyler Kelk round the bottom. Shannon Simon up high. Caleb Marshall with clear track in front of him. They're going at it, hammer and tong for second place though. Tyler Kelk just balked a little bit down on the bottom of the racetrack. Simon working around the outside. 2 wide for the race lead now. Tyler Kelk, contact, infield drama. Tyler Kelk dispatched. So the 48 car spun to the infield with contact between Shannon Simon and Tyler Kelk. Race leader remains Caleb Marshall in the 88. Look at Leroy Gillies in the 95 car coming after him. Shannon Simon back in third position now. Run to the checkered. Caleb Marshall gets the job done in the 88D machine from Leroy Gillies, Liam Gillies in the 95. Third is Shannon Simon, the 26 car. So the Mulford Holdings Youth Saloon Heat number 2 taken out by Caleb Marshall in the 88 machine. Ran 4th in the opening heat race. Gets the job done in this one, the Ag and Auto Direct. Wongaloa Racing 88D machine. Cars about to go live. 12 laps the distance, heat number 2. The king on the outside of the accountant, Jason Scott outside of Matthew Anderson. Quick time was a 13.95 in heat number 1 as we roll to the green. Racing now, Jason Scott with a good jump, but look at Colvin. Chester Colvin looked racy down the bottom. Gets through, 2 wide for second. Matthew Anderson runs around the top. Colvin fires it into 3. Good battle for second place. Colvin hazing that right rear, searching for drive. As Jason Scott leads the way down the back stretch. At 3 and 4, Matthew Anderson running a little bit higher on the racetrack. Jason Scott knows where to find the drive in that 88, the Triple X. 410 powered sprint cars, racing hard. Seavright's gone spinner at turn number 2. Keeps it mobile, rejoins at the tail. Scott leads Anderson from Colvin. Your top 3, Mark Evans. Mark the Spark Evans in the Hydrolink 98 runs 4th. 3 seconds away from the lead of this one. Jason Scott has found the handle on this racetrack. No doubt about that one. Finds some drive up high at turn number 2 that time. With a 1.2 second lead back to Matthew Anderson. The 16 car, the local man, Matthew Anderson. Dunedin native. Racing on his home track, as he said. Started in mini stocks just about 20 years ago, did Matthew Anderson. Has progressed through the ranks to the top of the tree. We've got a spinner. It's Paul Horrell. The 33 car's gone around at turn number 2. So calm will fall over the racetrack, folks, as Paul Horrell will take a push start, restart from the rear. The king, Jason Scott, with the best handle of anyone on this racetrack at the moment. The Edge Parts and Performance 88T machine. Simpson Triple X chassis. 900 horsepower, 410 cubic inch. Aluminum V8. Installed it at the pole line. Of course, fixed drive, no transmission, no clutch in these race cars. Fixed drive shaft off the back of the 410 through the driver's legs to the quick change diff underneath the race seat. These things are wild, wild race cars. And the fastest cars on clay anywhere in the world, a 410 sprint car. Sight to behold here at Beachlands Speedway. Jason Scott leads the field to green. Restart and we're underway once more. Matthew Anderson got a good jump, but look at Nigel Colvin. Sends it up the inside, broadside. Matthew Anderson with a good run down the back straight though. Colvin, huge wheel stand in the back of shot. So the track has got some drive. Jason Scott just struggled a little bit on the restart. Matthew Anderson looking super racy. Just can't quite match the straight line handling at the moment of the king, Jason Scott, who looks to draw away from the 16 car. So Jason Scott leads Matthew Anderson with 4 laps to run. 12 lap heat races on a drivey racetrack. A little bit strung out at the moment. Jason Scott, Matthew Anderson, Nigel Colvin running in 3rd. So just the one lane at the moment. Cushion building at both ends for the sprint cars. Matthew Anderson looking to use the cushion to come off turn number 4. He's gone terminal, folks. Matthew Anderson shut down out of P2. So he'll pull high and wide and look for the safety of the infield. Not going to happen. Comes to a stop at turn number 2. White flag, yellows are on. So Matthew Anderson, hopefully not too serious. The car lost power, lost drive. There's no smoke or no fire. As we roll around to green once more. Jason Scott, Nigel Colvin, look at Chester Colvin. He'll have a dig. Green and we're racing. Colvin's looking to the outside. Jason Scott covered him off, but Colvin goes low side, too wide down the back straight. Nigel Colvin couldn't find the drive. Has another dig at turn number 3. Slides up the racetrack and given to Jason Scott at the white. 1 to run. Good racing from Nigel Colvin. A man who does not die wondering has a crack. But it's all Jason Scott as he comes off 4, runs to the flag, takes the flag. Jason Scott, Nigel Colvin, who entertained me big time. I enjoyed that one, folks. Jason Scott from Nigel Colvin. The spark Mark Evans ran 3rd. From the thriller Miller, Dino Miller in the 55. Steve Wright ran 5th in the end. Horrell rounded out the field, and of course unclassified Matthew Anderson didn't see out the race. We hope things not too serious in the 16 machine.
He's just interrupt you a wee bit there for a minute, Steve, while we catch up with the winner of the first race of the Battle of the Streetstocks for 2021. He's not too keen to talk to us, so we've sort of twisted it arm a wee bit to do it, but it is Alan Finch, mate. Awesome run for your first one. Lots of traffic out there. How the hell did you navigate it all?
Pretty much just winged it.
It's quite, like there's a lot of cars out there, and I suppose you just put the foot up and just, see how you come out the other end.
Pretty much. Come around the corner and heaps of cars up on the wall. It's like, where do I go?
Absolutely. Is the track out there? Does it suit your car? Is it running pretty good?
Yeah, no, it definitely does. Bit of a struggle at the moment though. We've only got second gear, lost first in that race. So.
Hell, so it's going to be making it interesting. And I see you working underneath the bonnet. Is that what you're trying to do when we arrived here?
No, it got a wee bit warm as well. So just trying to check the water and hope everything's working. And yeah, try to win the next one.
Who's your pairing? Who's your partner?
44 GM native. So I don't think he finished that race, but yeah.
I suppose, well, at least if you can get the points and you can start finishing some stuff, it might work out. But what's the plan? Will you have to now go home tonight and get another gearbox into it?
Yeah, hopefully I can borrow a gearbox off a mate.
So no sleep tonight. Looks like it's going to be on the cards.
Plenty of hours in the day tomorrow.
Absolutely. I suppose you won't start again till, 5 o'clock tomorrow. Got any sponsors, mate, you want to thank?
Yeah, B&T Gore, MV Motorsport and MV Motors 2020 Limited.
Good stuff, mate. Well, hey, congratulations. We bit of work to still do, man, and well done. It wasn't that bad after, or was it? Eh? What do you reckon, Steve, mate? She's pretty interesting with so many street stocks on the track. I don't know, man. It's just going to be a pretty hard fought sort of a battle coming up over the next couple of heats, for tonight.
Hi, Malcolm Nardo from Suck It Up. We specialise in hydro excavation in the Canterbury region, safe dig methods around services. Also, we do septic tank cleaning, drain cleaning, CCTV over your pipes. If you want an excellent service, please check us out on Facebook.
Suck It Up Limited, 740 Marston Road, Christchurch. Call them 24 hours a day on 027 588 8809.
We didn't even know he won that one. We had a wee glitch, didn't we? So,
well, of course, yeah, my apologies, it wasn't our fault, but obviously they've lost some power up in the top part of the tower, and what we've done is we've just bypassed the tower and given you a feed up there, Steve, so your beautiful voice can be heard around the world, mate.
Oh, you've done well, mate. It's just lucky there's no camera on me, mate. You're the face, I'm the voice, eh?
Yeah, well, I'm not exactly the face. I've got a face for radio more than anything, but we've just got the sprint cars come back in, and I do believe Jason Scott's the man that's been doing all the winning, so if we can grab Stivey. It was a flag drop, actually, so we'll go and catch up with Jason Scott, and we'll leave it up to you, Steve, for the next race, mate.
Thanks, Jason. Perfect timing as we go green right now with the production saloons. Regan, Constable, Ben Howard, front row. Constable leads into turn number 1 and 2. Gareth Cayley working round the inside. Ben Howard's dropped a few spots down to 4th. Gee, the speed difference is funny, isn't it, after sprint cars on the racetrack? The production saloons. Fair to say a sedate pace by comparison. But sport is sport, folks. It doesn't matter if you win the Tiddlywinks, you still win. Production Saloons race as hard as any. We've got a car park down at turn number 1. We stay green for now. Still green. There's Gary Cuff parked up there in the middle of turn number 1 and 2. Race leaders come through. We go yellow now. So a little bit of action. It's Gary Cuff, the FG Falcon, parked up at 1 and 2. As the lights go down, Johnson's going to restart from the tail of this one. Regan Constable to lead the field to green. Racing now. Constable's away. Gareth Cayley was not caught napping. The Magan Turbo Shop 26D. Chases hard, running in second. Jared Constable running in third place. Gary Cuff got the FG Falcon refired, running in 4th place. So that's good to see. Bit of Ford Barra horsepower running in 4th. Awesome looking Mike's Utes, supported 14D. He's gone from strength to strength in this grade over the last couple of seasons, has Gary Cuff. Gary's Mechanical Repairs. Of course, Pro Signs, Repco. Well turned out race car. Great to see the FG Falcon. Oh, Alicia Gillies has had the bonnet come up. So the 76D of Alicia Gillies with the bonnet up finds the safety. The infield will stay green. 10-lap race distance for the production saloon. Second time we've seen them tonight. Regan Constable from Gareth Cayley. A 0.9 of a second lead for Off the Rails. Regan Constable. Retro Automotive colour car painters supporting the 63 machine. Jared Constable and Gary Cuff going at it. That's for 3rd place, folks. The 24 of Jared Constable. Feeling the heat from the FG Falcon of Gary Cuff. Isn't it good to see some 2-lane racing in the production saloons? Gary Cuff finding a handle on the clay here tonight. Regan Constable doing it easy at the moment, drawing away from Gareth Cayley in 2nd. But this battle for 3rd is where it's at, folks. Gary Cuff gets around the outside of Jared Constable. Shuts the door. Constable still working around the bottom of the racetrack. Gary Cuff, though, gets ahead as Constable comes back. So this battle for 3rd place, the most lively battle on the racetrack at the moment. Race leader is in heavy lap traffic, trying to work his way around the hammer. Brian Wilson. He's got the 818 of Alicia Stewart now a lap down. Next is Mitch Finlay to put a lap down. So heavy lap traffic for our race leader. White flag is out though. Check it now. And it's all the 63 of Regan Constable. Gets the chocolates over Gareth Cayley in the 26. The 14 of Gary Cuff, the 24 of Jared Constable. So those results: Regan Constable from Gareth Cayley, Gary Cuff, Jared Constable, your top 4. Alan Kirk come home in 5th. In the 37, Alan Kirk, about 150 years old, a man who has been racing here for a long, long time. We'll go downstairs. Big Jace has got the king, Jason Scott.
Mate, Big Jace and Big Jace. I think it's the 2 Big Jaces, isn't it? I don't know. It's a bit of a competition going on here, Jace. But of course, one of the reasons we've come to have a talk to you is you've really got that sprint car flying around this Beachlands circuit tonight. Obviously, the car, it's suiting you. It's suiting the car.
Yeah, no, it is. Like I like coming down here because the track's always so driving. Like tonight, she's just like super glue out there, you know.
Yeah, well, you're putting some pretty impressive laps. I think you're sub-14s anyway, into the 13.8s or something like that. It's pretty impressive around here. I don't think we've seen any type of lap like that for quite some time.
Yeah, like there's a nice wee cush there and just smooth line. The track's super smooth and cush, heaps of grip. Like just check the revs and it's like 7,400 and you know that's nothing for these things.
We're pretty surprised to see you here, and we've talked about this off camera. Of course, Jacko would be a man that would usually be here with you right now, and he'd be giving you all the setup information and stuff like that. And unfortunately, he passed away, and it must be a bit of a strange feeling for you. I think you're pretty keen to get this season over and done with, aren't you?
Yeah, it's been pretty tough. It's 4 weeks ago today that it happened, and you know, definitely missed the guy. And as a crew chief, he was awesome. You know, like I got Shane, my other mate, stepped in, and all the girls have actually given us a bit of a hand and getting the helmet on, which is good. And definitely miss him. Like I could get in the car and it was ready to go every time, and now I've got to think for myself again.
It's a bit of a shame, really, because obviously that's impacted you. We caught up with you at Coke and Woodford Glen Speedway when you did the New Zealand Modifieds, and you certainly weren't on your A game there. And I suppose this is sort of kind of have some sort of impact on you. Time to recoup, time to refocus and get back into it next season. You got a big season planned?
Yeah, no, got a big plan going ahead, and it'll be great to have a bit of time out and have a think about things and look back and refresh the batteries. But big plans for next year. Like, there's a lot of series could be happening, and a lot of new drivers coming through as well. You know, good to see like Paul Horrell and those guys here tonight getting some laps, and they're going all right too. You know, and we just need to keep them going. There's a lot of guys in the south want to get into sprint cars.
Well, of course, we talked off camera about a potential series that's going to happen as well, so a little bit of an insight to that, or just want to keep it hush-hush for now?
Oh, and I think most of the drivers know, and they want it, is the Southern Sprint Car Series come back again, which we did for the first time 2 years ago, but there's numerous reasons why it didn't work then, but I think it's time it'll work now, and there's a good mix of drivers. You know, like at Easter, you know, we're 26 sprint cars, and I'd say next year you'll see 30 sprint cars on the track some nights. So with that format, it's two groups all night, and you come together in the feature, and you've got to be on your game to qualify and get in the money. So it'll be good to see.
Absolutely, Jason. Good sponsors, mate. Just while we've got a chance, obviously the Edge up in Christchurch there. Anything to do with race car parts, that's the place to go. It's the place to go, and thanks to everybody that supported Edge this year, because we've had a super year, and Speedway in general just growing all the time. All the tracks have got good car numbers, and it's good sport going forward. Good stuff, Jason. Well done on the racing. Let's see if we can clock out a lap record, eh? Just while we've got the opportunity to, and before we go too far away, we'll come over and speak to this man here. They call him the Thriller, Dean Miller, and of course you've sort of done a few laps with the sprint car now. It seems that you're you're not spinning out like old Gentilani used to, but you certainly got this thing dialed in quite nicely.
Yeah, having a lot of fun actually, Jason. It's a bit overwhelming the first season, but you know, we're starting to get the hang of things now. We're the end of the season, things are starting to come right for us, but tell the story, it's time to wash it and put it away after this. Absolutely, and of course you've come from a background of racing several types of cars, but do you think you found your place, so to speak, in the sprint car? Yeah, I've quite enjoyed this. It's a bit of a challenge, and especially these guys that have been around for a while, like Scotty and Matt Anderson and Mark Evans and all those guys. It's good to come up against them, and they've got a lot of experience under their belt. So. Are they passing that experience on? Are they giving you some advice and set up some bits and pieces? No, none at all, cheeky bastards. No, we just make it up as we go along, and the car's handling pretty good. And as you can see, the first race, it's got some horsepower under there, so just got to get the driver in the right space, and we'll be away again. It's a bit odd actually, because Kay's Bakery, who's your major sponsor there, more normally associated with stock cars and stuff. So what made them jump on board with the? Actually, I know why. We won't have to go too far into this, will we? But of course, yeah, Kay's Bakery, the major sponsor there, and usually associated with stock cars. Yeah, no, it's Kay's have been tied up stock cars for years, but my fiance's Luella, so she's part of Kay's Bakery, so it all fits in quite nicely, so to speak. You get a lot of cookies too, by the looks of things. Yeah, too many. Good stuff. Good sponsors. I know you spoke about. Anybody else you want to thank? Yeah, Chopper Tyres, Creation Signs, Roadrunner Panel and Paint, Harcourts, Dino of course, and Kay's Bakery. Yep. Good stuff. That's Dean Miller, of course, Steve, and of course you're a bit of a guy that doesn't always so focus on Speedway either, Steve. You might have been having a bit of a run in a rally car, and that's sort of what you do in your spare time, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right, Jace. So my focus over the last decade has been rallying, and you know, some would say I do it at a high level. I would say I do it at a budget level. But my Mark II Escort has been pretty cool over the last couple of years.
Are you actually driving it, or are you the co-pilot, so to speak?
You know, believe it or not, I'm a driver, Jason, and I go all right too. I'll take you for a skid one day. I'll just have to raise the ride height on the left-hand side to get you in there, brother. You were doing all right until you turned into a prick. Righto, mate. I'll leave you back. We must be just about due to go racing, are we? Yeah, we are. Heat number 2 of the Battle of the Streetstocks is just mate. Rolling around, mate. So we enjoy the chat with the sprint car drivers, and as Jason covered off, such a cool grade to have here at Beachlands Speedway. Only get them once a season at the moment, but if that Southern Sprint Car Series kicks off once more, as Jason Scott has suggested, we will be seeing a lot more. Wouldn't it be cool to see a field of 30 sprint cars, as was just suggested? Let's see what Daryl Richards can do in that 1NZ car. Lights are down. Green, let's get it on for 12 laps for the Battle of the Streetstocks. Look at Ben Jenkins charging up the inside, making a ton of spots. There's some pancaking happening. Lapsley's gone to the infield. Cathro's gone around. Tangled with Hoon Richard, so that's unfortunate. Race leader Corey Schumacher in the 77 car. The natives limping at turn 1 and 2, so he's got issues. But it's Mike Jones running in second and behind Corey Schumacher. Action down through this one, 3 wide down the back straight. Braden Adams on the inside of 3 cars. Oh, almost up and over, folks. Trying to get a number on that one. We stay green for now. Shane McKenzie, the 2NZ, he's got his work cut out with him, battling with Troy Dryden, among others. So race leader Corey Schumacher with Mike Jones all over him. Big shot down into turn number 1, Daryl Richards, Jared Verdona. So Daryl Richards coming under attack. The 1NZ, something of a target. AJ Lapsley takes a shot from the 777, so that's getting willing. Reds are on. That'll be for the native, the 44 car. Has ground to a halt under the control tower. Replays on screen from the pits media. Gee, it's busy. The Beachlands Bulldog cars, the orange and black cars. Copping punishment early. Sean Hughes got a pancake from the 118. AJ Lapsley went to the infield. Of course, those sitting in the arena, no benefit of replay, but just use your imagination. And this was a shot down at turn number 1, almost up and over the 97 car from Nelson. Stephen Soper. Sean Hughes again involved in that one. Green racing once more. And the race lead, the front of this one is down the back stretch. I believe it's Schumacher in the 77. Mike Jones. Ben Jenkins goes in on him. Matt Stewart. Looking strong in the 828 machine. Jesse Helm's gone around. Paul Leslie put him away. 5 laps into this one. Tangle down the back straight. Race leader, the 77 of Schumacher, dispatched. Car stopped at entry of turn number 1. Exit of 1, of course, reverse track. It's confusing for a simpleton like myself. So reds are on. That's a dangerous position. Taking another replay. So Jesse Helm was beginning to overcook himself anyway at turn number 1. Paul Leslie put him away. It looked like Lockie McLean copped some ugliness out toward the wall. Sean Hughes, Jesse Helm going at it as the red was thrown. Removed from this one, and he shows his frustration at that. The 14i wagon. Lights are down. Let's go green again here at Beachlands Speedway. Heat number 2. Battle of the Streetstocks. Trying to find the race leader. I believe it would be Mike Jones in the 29 car. From Braden Adams in the 475. Ben Jenkins running in 3rd. So Braden Adams looking racy. Oh, race leader getting tangled up. Lead change. Braden Adams to the front of this one. The 475 car takes over down the backstretch. Interesting what the ruling will be there. He did make the position across the infield. His passage was impeded though. So Mike Jones spin turn around now. Mike Jones dropping a ton of spots. Buddy Finch in the 121 going to work. On the 73, that's Shannon Ma from Nelson. So Braden Adams continuing to lead the way. the 475 car. Paul Leslie, Benji Smale, just chipping away, making some spots down around the 5th, 6th, 7th position. Roughly. Couple of laps to run. White flag for the race leader. Next time by. There's cars everywhere on this racetrack. Shane McKenzie's got trouble. White flag. Red flag now. So white flag. I think the flag man might have missed him, but Braden Adams, folks, the 475 car leading the way. For position, Ben Jenkins in the 345. So they're in the middle of turn number 3 and 4. For position in the white zone. Last lap. So I think we will get ready to go again. We're on the last lap, folks. Braden Adams leading the way in the 475. I hope I've got this call correct. Lights are down, racing again. Down the back stretch we go. It's Adams from Ben Jenkins, I believe, for position. Jenkins goes in on him. Through the southern end of the racetrack. Run to the line. It's Braden Adams by half a car. Braden Adams in the 475 by half a car from Ben Jenkins. And then, Christ, I have absolutely no idea. We'll get the official score sheet once the field has crossed the line. A lot of cars on the infield, folks. A lot of good cars also. McLean, Nicolau didn't take fire at the start of that one. Plenty of cars capable of deciding things. So here it is, folks. Braden Adams in the 475 from Ben Jenkins. Benji Smale. Paul Leslie ran 4th. Kelly Campbell 5th in the 12. Musgrove in the 9. The wagon ran 6th from Brett Bauer, the bank, in the 99. Sam Cathro in 47. Come home in 8th position. As Braden Adams needs to make his way round to the checkered flag. He may not know he got the job done, folks.
It's action for the whole family. With 23 tracks around New Zealand, there is no better way to spend your weekends than at a Speedway New Zealand track.
Here they come to the start-finish line again.
There's something for the whole family. Sprint cars, saloons, stock cars, sidecars, midgets, and much, much more. Pack up the family and make a trip to adrenaline-filled, action-packed bashes and crashes that only Speedway can deliver. Visit www.speedway.co.nz to find out the track nearest to you. Speedway, it's our summer thing.
Radio lights down. Saloon heat number 3. Blair Finlay inside of the front row. Sharing the row with Mark Newell in the MV Motorsport 96 car as we come to the green. Let's get it on in the saloons. Blair Finlay streaked away. Finlay to the early jump in the 98 car from the 96 of Mark Newell. Look at Barry Taylor coming around the outside of Craig Phillips. So Taylor working high on the racetrack in that 28 car. Rolling the dice, running around the top. Trying to get something happening. The 98 of Blair Finlay. First time tonight he's had clear track in front of him. Let's see what he can do with it. As Mark Newell chasing hard. Newell's been good tonight in that 96 car. Shane Greer also in the 33's looking strong. The Hypermac Greer logging machine. He's got Craig Phillips pesting around the back of that race car at the moment. Phillips moves to the outside, too wide at turn 1 and 2. Phillips goes right around the outside. Greer digging the pole line, but give third spot to Craig Phillips on lap 3 in the saloons here at Beachlands Speedway. Third time tonight we've seen the saloons. Third and final time, according to the race program. Barry Taylor still persevering higher on the racetrack in that 28 car. Blair Finlay starting to check out. He's got over a second now. Back to second, Mark Newell with Craig Phillips. Looking to move through into second. Mark Newell's gone up the racetrack. Car looked a little bit tight through the middle. Equated to decent drive though down the front stretch to hold the field at bay. But Blair Finlay shut the gate. He's gone most of the back straight advantage at the moment. Back to Mark Newell. Craig Phillips, Shane Greer, Aaron Andrews in that order. Barry Taylor, he's come down the racetrack a little bit slick now at the southern end of the track, so that's interesting. Changing stuff. Track that had super drive earlier on. The sprint cars were wheel standing both ends. Aaron Andrews though likes a slick track and he's moved through on Shane Greer. Aaron Andrews looking to come around the outside of Craig Phillips. Too wide for third now. White flag is out and Aaron Andrews has found his form. So Aaron Andrews working in third position now. Checkers though for Blair Finlay. Takes heat number 3, the 98 machine. From Mark Newell in the 96. Aaron Andrews with a spirited drive to third. Got around some fast cars to get there. Blair Finlay from Mark Newell, Aaron Andrews, Craig Phillips, Shane Greer, your top 5. Barry Taylor ran 6th in the 28 car. So young Blair Finlay gets the job done for the third heat race tonight in the saloons. Eye Paint Limited, Kelvin's Rust Repairs, Custom Signs, Napa Auto Parts. So give him a round of applause. Give him a round of applause, folks. Blair Finlay takes heat number 3 with the saloons. We'll go down to Jace, who I think has a very special guest. You wait until you hear this one.
Special's right. Very special, aren't you, Harley Rob? And of course, this is the We Love Harley Rob scenario here. Every time we go somewhere, we hear this chant going on the place. But Harley, we just wanted a chance to catch up with you because clearly you're off to Greymouth, but it all turned to shit for you.
Yeah, we're on our way to Greymouth. We made the wrong turn. We ended up down here. So, no, we just come down to watch the streeties. We got no racing on, so we'll come down to support some of our mates.
I thought you'd actually be in a streetie when I seen you there because you've raced everything else, including the bathtub, haven't you?
Yeah, no, we've seen during the week Ricky posted up looking for someone to join up. So we tried to find a streetie, but I don't think anyone was keen enough. I probably don't blame them, but it is what it is.
Pretty good season for you though, mate. You must be pretty stoked with what you've achieved. You did the Cromwell Champs, you've won heaps of other races throughout the season. You've gone really well in Superstock Teams Champs, gone really well in the stock car. You must be a bumper season, but you want to really push it a wee bit more, maybe get one of those single digits on the side of one of your cars.
Yeah, we always push hard for that, but we always go good and then we run out of mates in the finals and get taken out. But we've still got a couple more meetings. Next weekend I've got to have off for my sister's 21st, so I won't be doing King of the Coast. And then we're off to Auckland for the Teams Nat, so that'll be pretty cool.
So your sister 21st?
Yeah.
How old is she?
Yeah, 21. So I'll have to go to that instead of race. It's a bit of a shame, but that's all good.
Okay, so of course for this now, is it the end of the season for you now? Just time to pull everything down and do a bit of rebuild and look after stuff?
Yeah, we not long got the stock car, so that's only done. I think we've only done 4 meetings in that. So, and then the Auckland teams will wreck the super stock there and then rebuild it for the season. So it'll be good going out with a bang at the team. So it'll be good.
Good stuff, mate. Well, hey, thanks very much for having a chat. We just thought we might catch you on the way through, but let's move back here a wee bit. We do have Benji Smale, who got third in that last race, and he's our next victim, person we want to talk to. Benji, mate, you've had a pretty good season as well. I know you did pretty well at the GP, and, you've done very well in that last race too, because not only were you third, but you come from, 32 off the grid to get up to third spot?
Yeah, grid 32, Jace. It's a fair way back of the field.
It's a lot of points for you, and of course that's what it's all about, and you've got a good partner. Who's your partner?
Jared Fedona, so he knows how to pedal a car, so hopefully we can hang in there and keep the cars going, really.
That's a lot of bloody points, mate. It's awesome for you guys. And what's the plan? I mean, I suppose you just got to get out there and about there and try and do the best you can and try and accumulate as many points. Maybe have a bit of an assault tomorrow if you're close or thereabouts.
Yeah, plan's obviously not get too much damage tonight, and yeah, really push hard tomorrow night. Just get points really and finish races, the main thing.
Happy with your season?
Yeah, no, I've been going pretty good this season, to be honest. Car's good, nice and reliable, and yeah, can't ask much more really.
Quick, just who's your sponsors, mate?
Custom Signs, Terry Soper, Used Store, Tamuka, Toby, James Carroll sponsored us last weekend to go to Rotorua, and yeah, there's a few other wee ones there that help us out along the way.
You got till tomorrow to memorise them all, but we've got to carry on because we've got some racing. Steve, mate, it's all over to you, buddy. And while we're there, we're going to check up on this 1NZ. We'll come back and have a chat to him.
Yeah, thanks, mate. Great to hear from Harley Robb down there, and of course our very own Benji Smale, one of our superstars in the street stock grade. Youth Saloons on the racetrack at the moment. Zara Lee Tahura leading the way from Leo Bennett. Two wide action between the twins. The 88, Caleb Marshall inside twin brother Clay Marshall in the 97. So that's good action. The lads from South Otago going at it. Leroy Gillies running in 5th spot at the moment. Leo Bennett with a lot of smoke developing out of the back of the 66 car. Not ideal. If we could have the car down the backstretch with their foot on the brake, if you could just lift your foot off the brake, we can't have that red light going, please. Car down the back straight. Oi, listen. Zara Lee Tahura leading the way. The 88 car of Caleb Marshall now into 2nd spot. Look at Leroy Gillies running in 3rd. Zara Lee Tahura has really found her form in the Mulford Holdings Youth Saloons. The 3rd time we've seen these tonight. If someone could go and talk to that car down the backstretch, get him to take his foot off the brake, that's really piss poor. We can't have that. Back to the racing action on the track. Zara Lee Tahura now coming under attack from the 88 car. Thank you down the back straight, that's fantastic. The 88 car of Caleb Marshall. Leroy Gillies working hard, he races hard, does the 95 of Leroy Liam Gillies. Digging low side on the racetrack, trying to get the drive down the back stretch. Throw a blanket over the top 3, Zara Lee Tahura. As they race to the white flag, the top 3, this is all on. 1 to run, Zara Lee Tahura from Caleb Marshall. Leroy Gillies is coming for them in the 3rd spot. Still the 37 of Zara Lee Tahura. Runs off turn number 4, gets the job done. Sheer madness racing. Zara Lee Tahura got it in the 37 car from the 88 of Caleb Marshall. Then it was Leroy Gillies in the 95. Tyler Kelk, I believe, ran 4th. Yes, he did. So Zara Lee Tahura takes heat number 3 for the Mulford Holdings Youth Saloons from Caleb Marshall, Leroy Gillies and Tyler Kelk, your top 4. Shannon Simon ran 5th. Give her a round of applause, folks. Zara Lee Tahura, 2nd generation racer, gets the chocolates in that one. It was cool to hear from Harley Robb down there in the pits. A couple of talking points on that. What about the hoodie? The Hoondog 1NZ hoodie on Harley Robb. That's cool to see. And Jace did touch on his performance at Cromwell last weekend in the stock car. Speaking of Hoon Richards, I think we'll go down and speak to him. Our very own Daryl Richards, the 1NZ street stock, Daryl Richards.
Oh, shut up, Steve, man. Hey, so, of course, we are down here with Hoon, and, mate, she's not good news for you, is it, mate? The car's not looking too good at all.
Oh, it is a street stock at the end of the day, mate. We get out there and bash them up a bit. It's probably the most damage we've had in 3 seasons, so can't complain, eh?
What's wrong with it? Tell us what's wrong.
Oh, we just had a broken bottom arm, which couldn't move. We were just sitting duck, and young 14D come round bonnet racing instead of looking out his visor. But anyway, that's the way it rolls.
And of course, they put you up for the meeting. Is it put you up for the day or for the entire meeting?
No, we'll fix it. We'll be back tomorrow and we'll sort it out.
Sort it out. Maybe 14D should be a little bit worried.
Oh, well, I'd say so. Hold on.
Who's your partner? Are they going to be able to accumulate some points where you can't get out there tonight?
Yeah, Benny's over there. He's finished 2. So, we won't be in the running now, but that's the way it is, eh? That's racing.
It's pretty fast racing out there, mate. I mean, like I've just saying to the boys before, I've stood out there and watched the race from on the sidelines, and I don't think I've seen Streetstocks go this fast before. And a couple of guys are saying it's pretty tough when you go around there and you've got a whole big dust up there. You don't know what the heck's going on.
Yeah, it's all on out there. You get someone flicked in front of you, and you've got a split-second decision to whether hit them in the front or hit them in the back to get round so you can get through yourself. Because there's another guy coming right behind you. So you got to be Johnny on. Can't be bunging around out there.
Absolutely. We've got somebody sitting at home that we want to say hi to and a thanks to as well. Who do you want to look after there, mate?
Yeah, huge shout out to Shane Anderton Decorators. He's come on board with me this year and had a bit of an accident when he's sitting at home. And so, huge thanks to Shane. He's a good bugger. So I hope he recovers shortly and back to it soon as possible.
Well, we're going to chuck him a live stream tomorrow night because I forgot about him. But let's have a wee look at this damage on Hoon's car. If you come back further down, Stiffy, my cameraman here, you can actually see, look at the damage that's gone on here at the back of the car. It's absolutely squashed up majorly. You're saying there's something with the front as well. Hoon, what's the story there?
Boys are just putting a bottom arm in at the moment.
Okay, well, come around here. We've got a wee bit of time here. We'll just move Stiffy around here, make sure he doesn't trip over this cord. And you can see they're working frantically on trying to get the car at least mobile, even if they can just get it on the trailer here. You can see your crews, mate. They're just amazing, aren't they? What some of these guys do to try and get things back out and running, eh?
Yeah, I know the boys are good bunch of boys around this grade. They all give a hand, and we'll be back tomorrow night. We'll be ready to go.
Good stuff, mate. You've just come off a big North Island deal as well up there for a good event up there. How'd you fare up there?
Yeah, no, good. We went to Palmerston on Friday night. It got rained off, so we were into Miani on Saturday night. We got third in the best pairs there. Just about got fastest lap time, and then we were in Rotorua, and we loaded. We changed one tyre and poured petrol on all weekend. So it's always tough down here. You got to know with all 30 cars here or something, 39 cars here. It's she's on.
She's all on, all right. Well, Hoon, best of luck trying to get everything done, mate. Well done. Thanks for talking to us. And I know the sprint car's about ready to go, but we have a look around, pan around the pits there with Stiffy. You can see lots and lots of work going on down here in the pits. There is some damage that's happened. These guys are fast. They are really, really fast. And of course, if you're sitting at home watching this and you need to be here, get your butts here. This is a fantastic event, Steve. You're enjoying the racing, mate, from these Streetstocks or what?
Oh, I love it, Jace. It's super, super cool, and I just can't believe, as you mentioned, how the speed in these Streetstocks has increased over the last few seasons. They hit as hard as they ever hit, but gee, they're quick, aren't they? The lap speed is unreal.
Oh, it's amazing, mate. It's absolutely enjoyable to watch, actually. And with so many on the track, it really does give a go. Hey, we love Harley Rob, don't we, Michaela?
We do love Harley Rob, but we're also green for the sprint cars.
Let's go.
Heat number 3, let's go's right. Chester Colvin out to an early lead. Johnny Severwright running in second. Look at the spark. Mark Evans round the outside, too wide down the back straight. The Thriller Miller's gone over. He's hit the fence at turn number 2. Stay back, folks. Stay back from the fence. You've been warned. Stay back from the fence, folks. Methanol in that race car. Keep your distance, I'm telling you. The Thriller Millers slapped the fence. Didn't go right over. He'll be pleased the wing's not damaged. Kids, please get away from the fence, seriously. Methanol burning race cars, not a good idea to go near. The Thriller Miller, he got high, he got wide at turn number 2. He slapped the wall, it dragged him in. Tagged the right rear, it rode up. We'll get a replay on the pits media, we hope. the Thriller Miller. That would have knocked him around. The old pancake crash can certainly shake you up a little bit, especially the speed these things run. 13.8, 13.9 second laps. Here's the replay. So, Dean Miller's car straightened up on him. It had a big haze on the right rear. Straightened up. Got to the fence. He tried to ride it out, to his credit. She was a solid thud. And as I say, lucky to keep the wing undamaged. Expensive components, so good to see that's all rolling relatively trouble-free. Lights go down. Colvin leads the field. It's Colvin, Evans, Seabright, then the King, Jason Scott running fourth. The King goes low side, moves into third immediately on the restart, round the pole line. Seabright's gone spinner at turn number 2 and spun. We're going to go yellow. We do. So this one's taking a while. There's Johnny Seabright. 900 horsepower, folks. Lightweight, absolute fireballs, these race cars. Chester Colvin brings them to green. We go again. Look at Mark Evans having a crack down low. Jason Scott will be working up higher on the racetrack. So the King in hot pursuit of the spark Mark Evans. 3 and 4 we run. Evans is nice and high, found good drive. Jason Scott goes low side. Oh, big flat slide. There's no traction down there, no side bite. He'll go back up to the cushion at the other end. Colvin from Evans, then Scott. And a strung out one. Nigel Colvin has found some form, checking out of this one. Mark Evans doing very well to hold Jason Scott back. Jason Scott goes upstairs at turn number 2, too high that time. So he's searching for some drive. Mark Evans running the cushion beautifully around the northern end of the racetrack. But it's all Chester Colvin with a big lead down the back straight. The whole back straight. Colvin, he's driving nice and straight through 1 and through 3, winging it in and carrying awesome speed to the apex. Good performance from the 33 car of Paul Horrell, relative newcomer to the sprint cars. Seabright's gone spinner again. Good donut in front of the leader. And half race distance. So lap traffic now. Seabright struggling on a track that's going away a little bit. Persevering on that low line. He's checked up the leader big time. Chester Colvin, no mirrors on these race cars, so he had a bit of urgency to get through. You never know how far behind your competitors are. Seabright with actually good speed now. He's tucked in behind the race leader. So a lap down, but carrying reasonable speeds as I put the mocker on him big time. And 3 and 4 that time by. Battle for second here as Seabright goes to the infield. So Mark Evans with Jason Scott. What about the brake rotor in the back of Jason Scott's car? Let's get a shot of that. Brake rotor glowing bright red, carrying a lot of left foot brake in that car, Jason Scott. That'll be warming his downstairs. As Mark Evans continues to hold him off. Checkers though now for Nigel Colvin. Dominant heat number 3 for Nigel Chester Colvin in the 42. Mark Evans ran second, and the King, Jason Scott, ran third. So what about that, folks? Chester Colvin takes heat number 3 from Mark Evans, Jason Scott, Paul Horrell. Just the 4 cars finished. The Thriller, of course, with that incident over at turn number 2, early doors. Seabright decided he'd had enough with an evil handling race car. And no Matthew Anderson out there in that one, so that's unfortunate. He did go shut it down and went terminal in the previous heat race. Obviously issues on that race car that they couldn't resolve. Pay off Nigel Colvin though, folks. If you cheer loud enough, he might rip a burnout. The 42 car takes heat number 3 here at Beachlands Speedway with the sprint cars. Production saloons next to roll out. What is night number 1, the 2021 Battle of the Streetstocks.
Build it, make it, fix it, shift it, tow it, stow it, dig it, lift it, mow it, trim it, grind it, chip it. We hire it. Mix it, pour it, smooth it, finish it, saw it, clean it, nail it, polish it. 0800 24/7 rent. We hire it. 0800 24/7 rent. We hire it.
For the third and final time tonight, front row, Gary Cuff, Jared Constable. What about Elena Johnson on the outside of the second row? Heat 1 winner tonight. Green and Racing. Gary Cuff gets away early. Gee, it's hard on the mind watching the productions after the sprint cars. Such a difference in speed. Gary Cuff leads the way in the 14. Elena Johnson charging in the 23D machine, running in second. Jared Constable in the Subaru though, looking up the inside into turn number 1. The 19 of Michelle Cuff with Regan Constable on the inside at turn number 3. Gary Cuff leads the way though from Johnson. Jared Constable in that Subaru running around the bottom of the racetrack at the southern end. So good to see Jared Constable having a good run. He's had engine dramas with that Subaru. As the saying goes, Subi goes bang. Well, Jared Constable knows what that means. The 24D machine, been through a number of engines over the last couple of seasons. Regan Constable's had a tyre go down. So the 63 car, I'm guessing there, but he certainly lost drive and ran wide. He's up and running again. Maybe it jumped out of gear. Certainly lost a ton of ground. He's back under full fire now in the 63 car. Down through the field though. Leading 3, Gary Cuff, Elena Johnson, Jared Constable. Elena Johnson now having a charge down into turn number 1. Gets to the quarter panel for the race lead. Here's the battle down the backstretch. The FG Falconer course with good straight line handling. Gary Cuff just struggling to get through 3 and 4 that time, and Elena Johnson needs no invitation. Running around the bottom of the racetrack, too wide for the race lead down the back straight. Elena Johnson just had to check up a little bit. A 3 and 4 that time by gives Gary Cuff a wee breather. 10 laps the distance, we're on lap 6. And Gary Cuff setting sail. Heat 3 of the Battle of the Streetstocks is next. The final race of the night. Gary Cuff keeping his line consistent, and that Mike's Utes. Gary's Mechanical Repairs Pro Signs. Awesomely turned out FG Falcon, the 14D car. We're on the last lap. The white flag is out and we race to the checkered. Elena Johnson senses a chance. 3 and 4. Too wide for the lead through turn 4. Drag race to the line. Gary Cuff got there, slapped the fence on the way through. That was cool. Jared Constable ran third in the 24 car from Regan Constable. Gareth Cayley, your top 5. But Gary Cuff did the job in the FG Falcon, did enough. Quick time was Regan Constable in a 19.7, so that's hauling the mail for a production saloon. Gary Cuff will take his victory lap. I'll prepare myself for heat number 3. The Battle of the Streetstocks coming up real soon. Don't miss this one.
You'll really love the feeling of a flooring extra floor, so come and get that feeling today.
As we stack this field up, we get ready to do battle. The 2021 Battle of the Streetstocks here at Beachlands Speedway. Ricky Bolton just brings the 21D car of Jesse Helm into line. Next to the bank, in front of the bank, Brett Bauer. He's told, no, that's not your spot. Then Gillies pulls in behind him, the Gillies Contracting ex-Jared Verdona MV Motorsport built 417 machine. The BA Falcon debuted a number of seasons ago. Jared Verdona was untouchable when he debuted that car early BA Falcon days. In the street stock grade. Lights about to go down. The green is in the air on the flag stand. Heat number 3, 2021 Battle of the Streetstocks. Racing now. Kelly Campbell gets away to the early lead. Troy Dryden's gone to the infield early, so Dryden's out of this one. It's all happening down the back stretch. A logjam. Sean Hughes has gone around. Ben Jenkins tangled. Car park at turn number 3. About 8 cars in that one. Race leader Kelly Campbell coming down the back stretch. Reds are on though. Just too many cars blocking the track at turn number 3. Benji Smale was tangled in that. As is Mitchell Lavender, Brian Nicolau, the 97 car. Stephen Soper's tangled in this. We'll have a wee look at a replay. This is the big push down the back stretch. Gee, the 73 Shannon Maher up on 2 wheels. Benji Smale in avoidance. Hughes and Jenkins ahead of that. That's a separate issue altogether. So it is all happening early in this one. Race leader, the number 12D machine, Kelly Campbell. He's got the Hulk in behind him. Braden Adams next back. So bear with us, folks. We'll take in another replay on the pits media. So Benji Smale and Shannon Maher got together. Benji Smale spun. Plenty of other pushes and contact going on. all separately that ended up becoming one big mess. So Mitchell Lavender, the 555D, on the hook to the infield. The 97 car, Stephen Soper, all the way from Nelson. He takes a push to the infield. Looks like everybody else set and ready to take the restart. Lights are down. Green and racing, so Kelly Campbell with heavy lap traffic in front of him, the 12 car. Reds are on once more. As we had a car that didn't take fire, I believe. We'll take a push to the infield. Kelly Campbell in the 12D machine. He's your race leader. It looks like Adam Stewart. Hard car to spot. From here, the angle it was placed on, so I didn't see it. Stationary, but Adam Stewart to the infield. Over and out of this one. Lights will go down and we'll get it on again. The 12D machine, race leader, Kelly Campbell, racing once more. So Kelly Campbell down the back stretch now into turn number 3. It's all happening in behind. Look at Braden Adams. Big shot comes in on Buddy Finch from the 777 machine. Put Buddy Finch away. 777 cars now spun at turn number 2. So Kelly Campbell coming under pressure now from the Hulk. Craig Blackler over there at turn number 2. That's for the race lead, folks. Blackler now takes the lead down into turn number 3. It's all happening down through the field. Reds once more. Once again, apology I've missed it, but we'll wait and see where Ricky Bolton drives the Isuzu. Looks like, is it the 121 machine of Buddy Finch? Cause of red, so he's taken fire once more and he removes himself to the infield. So that's handy. As they are dropping like flies here, folks. Craig Blackler, the Hulk, and the 8D machine has taken the lead. AJ Lapsley with a flat right rear. So he's removed to the infield. Wonder if Kelly Campbell retook the lead. Yes, he did, folks. Kelly Campbell, the 12 car, retook the lead just on the red. And first, second and third are together on the racetrack at turn 2. Campbell, Blackler, Adams puts the shot on Blackler, gets rid of him to the infield. So Braden Adams runs second, going after the race lead. Craig Blackler's dropped a ton of spots. Jared Verdona looking strong in this one. Does he sense a victory? The 25D car. Shandog's gone around Shannon Marr in the 73. As Kelly Campbell leads this race, heat number 3, Battle of the Streetstocks, but it is absolutely on down through the field. Verdona's been turned by Sam Cathro. That was out of position. So third and fourth, Cathro now in third place. The race lead down at turn number 1, Braden Adams on Kelly Campbell. Sam Cathro runs third. Sam Cathro puts Matt Stewart hard into the wall. So Cathro, although he runs in third, is going ballistic out there. Sam Cathro now runs in second as Kelly Campbell with the half spin down at turn number 4. Absolute mayhem on the racetrack. Braden Adams with all kinds of drama, I believe is still the race leader. Smashes into the fence. He's got tyres down. The white come out. Sam Cathro's going to win this one, folks. Sam Cathro has just taken the lead in the 47 car. Sean Hughes is parked down at 3 and 4, but I believe the checkered will wave for the 47 car. Kelly Campbell gets waved the flag. There's mud flying over the fence at 1 and 2. Let's wait and shake this one out. Kelly Campbell was given the checkered flag in the 12 car. But I have a feeling the 47 of Sam Cathro was for position, folks. Let's wait and see what timing and scoring has for us. As we wait for the rest of the field. 3, 4, 5, Ben Jenkins. Snuck past me, folks. My brain couldn't deal with that one. Sam Cathro was second in the 47 car. From the 777, Kahu Ipiha Natana. Kelly Campbell was fourth in the 12 car. From Braden Adams, who limped home in fifth at 475 with damage late. Look at Benji Smale, ran sixth. Benji Smale just collects points, doesn't he? He's a points machine, the 59D machine. Plenty of damaged race cars. Plenty of points. Scores to settle tomorrow night, folks. Clerk, of course, goes off to find Ben Jenkins to hand him the flag. He's standing next to him. Poke that through the fence. Through the window, sorry.
Awesome night of racing, and of course one thing we did notice just how quick these Streetstocks are, Steve, mate. There's some pretty big hits going in there, and well, I tell you what, she's going to be an interesting night tomorrow night, isn't it?
Yeah, the Porter Powers, the Sledgehammers, the MIG Welders work overtime tonight, Jason. The speed of those things over the last few seasons has really increased, and they hit harder than ever, as we know. A lot of repair work to be done by a lot of teams.
Unbelievable, eh? But one thing that I want to make notice to or bring attention to, of course, is the 1NZ car of Daryl Richards, mate. He's got somebody that's going to be put on his dash, and he's out for some revenge. So that might be just worth the price of admission alone tomorrow.
Absolutely. It's not often we see the Hoon Dog Daryl Richards as on cue. On cue, the car that Hoon mentioned in the back of shot. We'll wait and see that one tomorrow night. Daryl's not one to make idle threats. He races hard, and he races fair. If he feels he was unjustly hit or whatever, he'll certainly repay that.
Righto, well, let's wrap this deal up. Thanks very much for those people that streamed in with us tonight on the Pits TV for this, the 2021. Of course, it is the Battle of the Streetstocks. We still have another night. Don't forget to get tuned up. We are live from approximately 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. Of course, these guys are starting at 5 tomorrow, not 6 o'clock. So well, they're saying that it's, of course, we're getting a bit into the colder nights, so they want to try and get everybody out of here at a reasonable hour tomorrow. So good night from me, and of course good night from Steve as well.